I'm here. Um, so I have a surprise today before we play Elestrals on the app. So I finally have some Elestrals cards that I wanted to open on stream. This is the first time I've ever done something like this, because I finally can get my camera in a position where I can show my desk. And I've taken the typical VTuber precautions to not break kayfabe too much. So give me just 1 second to get my desk sorted. I will be right back, and we will be ready to go. Too much of myself. I don't know why. My percussion clearly. Alright. Alright. That should be good, I think. I want like more centered. I think this is good. We're gonna get it. Let me move the keyboard out of the way. So first up is I have my. Let me go ahead and silence the music a little bit. Quiet the music up a little bit. Okay, so first up I've got my singles I got from Mr. Bean Soldier TV. Oh, I should enlarge the camera here. Alright. So first up I've got my singles that I ordered from Mr. Bean Soldier TV. He packed them into like a bunch of multi-layers. So it looks like this looks like spirits, which are your mana, and the Elestrals are also your life. So we've got 2 Leviathan, which are the water room, the water spirit, 4 free Zaptor. I think I ordered 4 Zaptor in total. To keep the cards in view. My 2 Leviathan. Open up the next one here. It has the fourth Zaptor on top. So the fourth Zaptor. And then my 4 Turretless I ordered. I kind of like the card stock of Elestrals. The cards feel nice. Of course, I'm wearing the traditional VTuber gloves. I don't have the black ones a lot of VTubers use, but that's what I have. So I bought from Bean. I bought 3 Ambrosia because I'm getting some Ambrosias in the starter deck as well. And free Shield of Achilles, very important counter rune. One of the staple counter runes. It's like a Compulse from Yu-Gi-Oh! Ambrosia is important for, like, healing your spirits. Like, played and pre-used in every deck. Then, to go with my Turretluses, I should move my mouse kind of out of the way here. Get with this cord. I ordered 2 Earthquake to go with my Turretluses. I should actually organize my spirits. Into a pile here. I'm gonna keep them all spread out so y'all can see the other cards. Got 2 Earthquakes used by Turretluses, and I got 2 Tsunamis for the Leviathans for splash purposes. But since I bought the Chronodile starter, I'm gonna have more of these to spare anyway. And then I got myself 2 Nectar of the Gods. Oh, now is my fire stuff that are for the fire deck I want to build that I'm slowly working on. It's gonna take a while to come together because Lava is a $15 card holo, so there is that. That's kind of an issue for fire, but I'll deal with it when I need to deal with it. Anyway, I'll put the box to the side of me. I should stack these generic counter runes together. I'll put the shields on top, the Ambrose on the middle, and Nogs on the bottom. I can put my EQs, my Sues together for right now. Okay, for fire stuff, I got 2 Stoke the Forge, the rune that says evoke rune that says this Stoke the Forge can only be cast if Volcanic Forge is enchanted. Search your deck for a 1 Spirit Fire Elestral and put it at your hand. And of course, I got free Volcanic Forge, which is the Stadium card for fire. Very important. Oh, there's my 3rd Earthquake. Earthquake is a evoke rune that just says 2 Earth, destroy any Elestral. It's just a smashing round, pretty much. And Tsunami says, it's a counter rune that you pay 1 water to change all Elestrals in defense position unless they're water enchanted, which is like, it's like a decent, like, I guess kind of like a Book of Eclipse, kind of weird. And then on to some other fire stuff I got. I'll put the volcanic forges on top of the stokes. Want to keep my fire runes together. For fire Elestrals, I've got 2 Necra, who is a 5/1. For 1 fire, he's a 1-drop fire Elestral. That says, when this Necra destroys an opponent's Elestral in battle, they must expend 1. Pretty good, like, just decent 5 in fire. Then I got my free Comagma. This is the receiver for Fire Nexus. 1 fire, 4/2. When this Comagma receives 1 or more fire, you can draw a card, then discard a card. He allows you to loot when he receives. So he's pretty useful, especially when you consider with Volcanic Forge, he's a 5 and not a 4. If Volcanic Forge is in play, which is kind of nice. Oh, I can turn the video around in OBS. I didn't know that I could do that. Well, give me a second. Camera control. I don't see where I go to flip the camera around. Oh, flip vertically, I see. I want to recenter this, sort of. And I got a Blazerus here. That says, this Blazerus can attack twice during your battle phase. When this Blazerus destroys a second Elestral in the same battle phase, the second Elestral in the same battle... Just a second Elestral in the same battle phase, you can special send this Blazerus to Tri-Portal for standard deck. Most people don't bother with Tri-Portal. Blazerus is just kind of decent on his own. It's just a double attacker. As like an ascend target. And there's my second Blazerus. And that's it for my Fire Elestral. For right now, until I can get more stuff for the fire deck. So I'll put Necroth on top, Blazerus on bottom, Comagma on middle. But next to my fire runes here. And then that is my thunder stuff I got. Three copies of the boy, the bunny, Asked Rabbit. When this Asked Rabbit receives 1 or more thunder, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then add 1 to your hand, and shuffle the rest in check. 2/5. So big fight, but allows you to effectively pot a duality. It's really good card filtering. Even decks that aren't fully thunder will like splash this for like consistency and just having a good butt. And then there's Elechic, which Elechic is a 4/1 thunder for 1 thunder. When you normal cast this Elechic, you can search your deck for a Divine Rune and add it to your hand. Very important for searching for things like Hephaestus or Poseidon or other Divine Runes your deck might play. I should have wanted just a bit more. Alright. That's it for the stuff that Bean Soldier I bought from Bean. Mr. Bean Soldier TB. So let me put the Ask Rabbits on top of the Elestrals. I'll start putting these away in the little sleeves he gave me. I want to keep them a little more organized. If I can. Fire runes. Thunder stuff, fire runes. Next one I'll use is for the fire Elestrals. I'll do 1-drop Pyro Resin, then I'll have Blazerus in a separate one. Then we'll finally open the starter deck. And then back in here with the Blazerus. Am I missing something from my order from Bean? I'll have to let him know about that. Because I'm only seeing... I'm seeing most of the other cards I got, like... I mean, I think I'm short some runes. Because I ordered a bunch of Pyro from him too, and I'm not seeing any of the Pyro runes I bought from him. Maybe I should check the box again. To see if I didn't miss them. I know these were just my fire runes, right? The box, see if I missed them in there. I'll have to let them know that I'm missing the Pyros. That they were in. I checked all the cards in order, and it seems like the Pyros are missing. Then I'll have to ask him about that. They might be coming in a separate order, I don't know. Separate shipment. I'll put the staples first. I'll just do the staples. I'll keep the Nog separate. I just want the staples in this one. Ambrose. I'll keep the Nog separate right now. Sorry everyone, I know like I'm still getting used to using the camera this way, so Hopefully my setup will get better over time as I use this more. I've got most of the stuff that I could just play with the Chronodile deck right now. I'm still missing a ton of stuff for my fire deck anyway. I still don't have Lava Lip. Lava Lip is kind of important, it's expensive. So it's not like I could play fire right away anyway. Even if I did have the Pyros. But I should ask him to make sure he knows about them not being in the order, in the shipment. Alright, just gotta put these Nogs away, and the spirits I did get. I should maybe store the Earthquakes Ensues with this as well, on top of the Nog. Or under the Nogs, rather. But I'm getting Tsunamis in my deck, so... I do want the Tsunamis in prop because I need access to the third Tsunami. Because I'm only getting 2 in the deck, so I want access to the third pretty easily. I'll put it on. I can still access it from the back pretty easy. And then... and the spirits. I'm gonna set the Leviathans aside because I'm gonna put it with the Leviathans in my starter. It's Disasters and Tyrantuses I'll put in here. For now. Okay. Put the fire stuff on the bottom here. Then my thunder stuff. Then my staples. Then the Nog and stuff, the Nog EQs and zoos, and then my staples. And then my extra spirits. Put them back in the box. I'll wrap later. On to the big event, the starter. my hubbing tool. These are my hobby nippers from like war games. Also, I built like the model kits and stuff with it. We open it this way, get the plastic wrap off. Oh, I like the box. It feels nice. Feels like a very sturdy for a starter deck box. And there it is. Yes, the starter deck comes with 3 booster packs inside, so I get to open some Daybreak boosters too. So, let's open it. Gotta get this sticker off. I think I got it started. There's a sticker off. Let us open. Very nice box. So our first insert is our spin down solar D20. I like this style. This is a nice D20. Wow. The solar symbol on it. Cool. I actually like this D20. It looks really nice. And then inside we have our 3 Daybreak boosters that they pack into every one of the 2 Daybreak starter decks. The Frostball ones have the Frostball booster packs in them. It's very cool that they include a couple of boosters in it, because it gives me a chance of pulling some of the fire stuff I need from Daybreak, like Ash Rabbit and Rummicle. So we will set the boosters to the side here. We will open those later. And inside, we also have the How to Play guide, which was written by multiple members of the rules team, including Giant Skyhawk and the one and only Siberian. Anybody who's watched MBT Yu-Gi-Oh's channel knows all about Siberian. Oh, that was the Elestrals rulebook. We'll put that aside with the D20. And now it is time to go through our starter deck. And there's the boy, Chronodile, the new boss monster for Water Nexus. That's gained some popularity. Let me get the plastic off of the deck here. We've got Chronodile itself, really nasty free drop here. 2 water and a solar to ascend. This is a free drop. 8 power, 14 defense. You can disenchant water from this Chronodile in order to target and destroy a card. So you can disenchant a water from him as long as you got excess water on him to just pop a card. And while you have at least 6 enchanting water or solar, this Chronodile cannot be targeted by opponent's card effects. So if you like re-enchant him, or if you're playing Water Nexus and you just Nexus a ton of water to him, not only can you spend those excess waters to pop cards, but if he has enough, he's unaffected. So that's cool. So he's like the cover card of the starter. And we have 3 Sundial, 2/1 Solar Elestrals. You can expend Solar in order to enchant water to your field, so it helps enable Chronodile later. During your end phase, you can special send the Sundial to Chronodile from your deck, hand or deck if it is water enchanted. So if you have a water on Sundial in your end phase, you basically get to level up like Armed Dragon level 3 into this guy, Chronodile. Who is a 2-drop Solar Water, 5/6, 5 attack, 6 defense. You can expend Solar Water in order to expend means to like expend either from your field or from your spirit deck. To enchant Solar Water from your underworld to your field and special send this Chronodile to Chronodile from your hand or deck. So it turbos into Chronodile, which is kind of cool. You get 2 of those. You get 3 of the Sundial, 2 of the Chronodile, and 1 of the Chronodile. We also get 2 Plucky. Plucky is basically a solar version of Elestrals, except it has 4 defense instead of 4 attack. And then you get the water stuff. This is really cool, what this deck does. I'm gonna put Plucky, Chronodile, and Sundial here, just to keep them out of the way. To keep the solar stuff out of the way. I'm gonna keep Chronodile separate because he's the big cover card. But now we get the water stuff. The water stuff in this deck is really sick because it basically gives you the basis of just playing constructed Water Nexus. You get 2 Foamy, key card in Water Nexus, 2 free, 1 water. When this Foamy is destroyed in battle, you can special cast a 1 Spirit Water and Celestial from your deck in defensive position. So it's a recruiter. You get 2 Tadpuff, which isn't really played in Water Nexus, but it's kind of cool. Water 1/1. This Tadpuff can be special cast from your hand in attack position with water if you also expend water. So you can use this to get material to ascend into Chronodile really easy. Or into another like ascend target in this deck. You can also get 2 Galaxy, who is a 2/5 for 1 water. While this Galaxy is enchanted, i.e. it has a spirit on it, swap each water enchanted Elestral's attack with its defense. So it swaps all the attack and defense of your water enchanted Elestrals. So it would make Chronodile turn into a 14 attack, 8 defense thing. And as long as this thing's in play, it's not 2/5, it's 5/2, which is kind of neat. As long as it doesn't get suppressed or anything by like Dense Fog or something. Suppressed is kind of like negated, but not really. Then we have 2 Apharos, who is the Water and Nexus Enabler. 1 water, 2/4. You can Nexus up to 2 water. When you do, you can draw a card for each water discard that a card receives this way. So it gives you card draw and it Nexuses, so it helps enable your Chronodile. It also enables any of your other Water Nexus receivers. And you just get to draw a bunch of cards with this. And then we have the Star of Water Nexus. I'm gonna organize these in such a way. Galaxy and Tadpole aren't that important. I want Foamy and a Pharaohs in one pile. They're kind of important. Now for the next one is the star player of Water Nexus, Grotagua. Grotagua is probably one of the best receivers in the game. 1 water, 1 attack, 4 defense. When Grotagua receives 1 or more water, including when you play it or when you nexus to it, you can return up to 2 water spirits from your underworld to your spirit deck. Which is like a massive amount of healing. On top of the free ambrosia you're probably also playing, water decks can be really hard to kill for this reason. And then we have the new player in water, fresh from Daybreak, Edward. Eddie is really good because he's a 4-1. He's 4 attack, 1 defense, water Elestral, so he's pretty strong. When you cast this Eddie, you can change the position of Elestral. So if they have an Ash Rabbit, you switch that sucker to defense and you just hit over it. So it just outs Ash Rabbit super easy, it outs Ash Rabbit really easy, it outs a lot of stuff really easy. You can beat some 5s in the 5s deck, where that play like Spectaris and stuff. He's really good. He has an alternate effect of being able to special ascend into Curubus if you play Rock in a Hard Place, but it's often not worth playing Rock in a Hard Place. But Curubus itself is a decent 2 ascend. That's a 9-2. You can disenchant 2 water from your field in order to destroy a card. So it has to be from your field, like like sacking your Elestrals or runes. To use this to pop a card. So it's kind of like a pseudo Chronodile in that way, but it doesn't have protection. It's 9-2, which is pretty big. And you don't need to use Eddie's condition with Rock in a Hard Place to get the Curubus. You could just hard ascend him. If a card is destroyed this way, you can return a spirit to your from your underworld to your spirit deck up to the number of spirits that were enchanting that card. So you pop a Lava Lip who has 2 fire on him, you get to like heal 2, which is like massive. That's why Curubus, I think, is worth playing just on his own as a good ascend target. You don't necessarily need to play the Rock in a Hard Place Eddie combo to get him out. If we get 1 Porcutide, who's not like great, but like 1 attack, 4 defense. When Porcutide is destroyed by battle by an opponent, they must either discard a card or expend 2. I've heard some people use this as like a sideboard card. That's pretty interesting for like defensive purposes. And then some staples. We get 2 Nectar of the Gods, which we've seen before, 2 Ambrosia that we've seen before. So I will put the staples together. Before we look at the rest of the deck, we should probably ignore the Elestrals a little bit. We'll put Chronodile on top of Sundial and Nomadial. We'll put the less exciting waters together, like the Tadpus, the Galaxies, and the Porcutides together. We can put Eddie on top of Curubus because of the combo that exists between them if we play Rock in a Hard Place. And put Grotagua on top of this, the Nexus Enabler. So we have space to go over the runes that aren't the staples that we've already seen. So we get 2 Poseidon, Poseidon is the Water Divine Rune. 1 water to play, Divine Rune. When you cast this Poseidon, you can enchant up to free water to it, like any other Divine Rune of a different element. You can Nexus water from this Poseidon. So, what makes Poseidon a really good Divine Rune is he auto-enables Nexusing. You don't necessarily need to get to your Nexuser. Like Hephaestus just kind of sits there with the wire on him. You have to draw Kinleo. Where Poseidon allows you to do some Nexusing before you see the water enabler, the fish we saw earlier. We also have 2 Trident of Poseidon. People say that artifacts aren't great, but apparently this is one of the more playable ones because of another card we have in here. The Empowered with Elestral gets, by this artifact, it costs 2 water to play this artifact. Power Level gets +2 attack and cannot be targeted by counter runes. While Poseidon is enchanted, your opponent cannot cast counter runes. So basically, anything that gets enchanted by the spear, any Elestral that gets enchanted by the spear basically becomes an ancient gear monster. And if you have Poseidon enchanted when you have this out, it's Royal Decree. So it's actually one of the more playable artifacts compared to the bad ones like Hammer of Hephaestus. We also get 2 Atlantis, which is the water stadium. We saw the fire stadium earlier. Elestrals get +1 attack and defense for each water enchanting them. Which is honestly kind of better than Volcanic Core, but Volcanic Core just gives +1 if they are fire enchanted, so it's less good, but there's more cards that enable Volcanic Cores, where Atlantis is just standalone very good. And here's Rock in a Hard Place. This is the card that enables the Eddy combo into Kerberos. It costs 1 water and 1 lunar. This Rock in a Hard Place cannot be chained by counter runes. It's an evoke rune. Target a rune and an Elestral on the opponent's field. The opponent destroys one of them. So it makes them have to choose. Anything that gives your opponent a choice is kind of bad. But you're mostly playing this to enable Eddy's effect to get the Kerberos super easily. But I don't know if I would want to include Runer Runes just to do that. I would probably just play Kerberos and hard ascend it. Oh. I will put the... I think that's it for water runes. Well, there is the 2 tsunamis here that we also get, which is the counter rune I told you about earlier. I showed you earlier. The rest is spirits, it looks like. Yep. Alright. So let's get these together before I go over the other cards that we didn't go over. Tsunami, Rock in a Hard Place. Get the runes all together. We'll do Atlantis, Trident, and then the Poseidons. Just to keep them all together by type, archetype, and element. And then we have some other runes that we didn't show before. We get 1 Argo. Argo is cool. It's a counter rune, you pay 2 spirits for it. This Argo can only be cast after an Elestral declares an attack. Cast an artifact rune from your hand or deck. So, in attack declaration, you can use this, pay 2, get a Trident Poseidon out of your deck, pay another 2, and you already got the counter rune lock. Or at least make something immune to counter runes, or if you have Poseidon already, you already established the counter rune lock, which is nice. But the problem is, it's at the end of... It can only be done after attack declaration, so your opponent can kind of play around Argo, depending on what artifacts you're playing. Like, apparently it's like decent with Golden Fleece, which is the solar artifact, but it's also good with Trident. Although there a lot of other artifacts just aren't good enough to consider Argo. Like, I wouldn't play Argo in Fire because Hammer of Hephaestus is bad. But it's decent for Trident, and it's, like, really good with Golden Fleece, according to Trishula TV. And then we also get 2 of another staple rune, Gorgon's Gaze. Gorgon's is sort of like a Fiendish Chain. It negates an Elestral. If its effect is on the chain, so you would flip Gorgon's in response to something. And until the end phase, the Elestral is suppressed on the suppression effect I mentioned earlier. And it cannot receive enchantments, attack, nexus, or even ascend. Which is nice. Like, if your opponent's gonna go for an ascend play, you can gaze in response and stop the ascension. Or if they're gonna try to nexus, you can stop with Gorgons. Those are very important counter rune. Every deck wants to play like 3 copies of this card. And then we got 1 Altar of Stars, which is another interesting counter rune. It changes the position of Lustral for 1 spirit. Which is like, it's like a weaker version of Tsunami that doesn't have the whole water weakness of, like, it doesn't affect water and change Elestral. This is more generic, but it only changes the position of 1 Elestral Eddy. But it also allows you to Nexus 1 when you activate it, which is useful for things like Drutagwa. And then we get a bunch of spirits. We get a bunch of Leviathans. I think we get 12 Leviathan in total. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 water spirits. They go with the 2 I already have, which puts me at 14. They have slightly different art because they're from different sets. We get 4 Illuminate. Not 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We get a total of 6 Illuminate to use with Chronodile and the other Crocs. And we get 2 copies of Owloon to use with Rocket a Hard Play, which is the Lunar Rune. The Lunar Spirit. Polar Spirits. And we get a little phase reference card for some rules. It's nice. About how casting Elestrals works, how ascending Elestrals works, and the stages of the turn. That's neat. I'll put up the rules. And my D20. I'll put all this stuff together in bulk. I'll probably keep it in the box for now until I sort it later. Argo, Gorgon's Gaze. Water Chaff, Eddy Curibus, Water Nexus stuff. And I want to put the runes next, actually, on top of the generic runes. Water Chaff, and then Water Nexus stuff, and then the Chronodile stuff. We'll just slide this back into the deck box until I can sort it later. And then the final event, the packs. Let's see what we get in our pack. Pack opening, PogChamp. What's recommend 34 this? Oh, these packs are annoying to open. I could probably use my nippers. Get it started at least. So our first card, I'm just gonna put them all on the table. Guardian of the Fleece is first. It's a Catarun, 2 solar. This Guardian of the Fleece can only be cast when an opponent activates a card effect that targets an artifact or powered Elestral on your field, negate that effect, and destroy a card on the opponent's field, which is kind of neat for the solar deck. Got Bloom. Bloom is a really cool card for the Earth Nexus deck. Catarun 1 Earth. Nexus Earth. If you do, you may enchant Earth on an Elestral on your field. So you can, like, double trigger, like, in a receiver like Mudlet, which is kind of neat. We got Don't Poke the Bear, which is really good in the Bear Fire deck that Bean Soldier TV likes. This Don't Poke the Bear can only be cast during the battle phase. Target a Ursa Elestral and give it +4 attack and +4 defense until the end phase, so it's really good in the Bear deck. And then we have Follow the Wisp, which is really good in the Fungi Bronto Wisp deck that Joseph showed on his MBT Elestrals channel. Target an Elestral on your field. Your other Elestrals cannot be attacked this turn as long as that Elestral is enchanted. Because Fungi, if we, I'll go over that in more detail if we find Fungi. It's like a fog. It's like a battle stopper. It's kind of neat. The whole combo with Follow the Wisp is you use this on Fungi, so they can only attack Fungi, and if we see Fungi, you'll understand what the point of that when we see Fungi, if I pull Fungi. If I don't pull Fungi, I'll just tell you what Fungi does. We got a Dratora, which is a 1-drop solar Elestral, 2 attack, 4 defense. You can Nexus Solar. When you do, you can return up to 2 solar from your Underworld to your Spirit deck. It's sort of like a solar Dratagua, but in reverse. It's a Nexus enabler, not a receiver. And so when you enable a Nexus, you get to heal your 2 solar. Ooh, we got Scabicle, not the mole I was looking for. I mean, Scabicle is, like, decent. It's a decent ascend target in fire. 5-4, 5 attack, 4 defense. 2 fire. When you ascend into this Scabicle, you can expend fire in order to search your deck for up to 2 cards with enchantment cards, 1 fire or 2 fire, and add them to your hand. You can use this to add, like, a lot of stuff to your hand. You can get Volcanic Forge with this. You can get Stoke the Forge with this. But Rummikul already kind of does that. But you can use it to get effects like Chains of Prometheus, which is cool. You could use it to maybe get a Festus. Because I think a Festus is 2 fire or 1 fire. So you can use them to find a Festus if you're not already playing a Divine Searcher like Elchik. And there's Humburst. Moto played this card against me. There's a mill deck that uses Humbuzz, Humburst, and a Solar Celestial called Lumaru that just mills you with basically like Empty Jar. Humburst is a fire and a solar for free. You have to ascend to this with 2 different elements. You can disenchant fire solar from this Humburst to force an opponent to send the top 6 cards from your deck to their Underworld. So you can stack this, or just expend the materials if you can somehow get more fires and solars onto this. You can just mill them out really hard. Or you can just sacrifice it to just get the mill 6 immediately. We got another Porcupine, not too exciting. But we got our Hollow. We got Hollow Apollo. Very cool. Look at him. Doesn't he look great? I should maybe flip him around. But I haven't figured out how to flip the camera. Chat, honest question. Hades 2 Apollo or Elestrals Apollo? I can't decide. Anyway, what he does is he's the Solar Divine Rune. Costs 1 solar. When you cast this Apollo, you can chop up the free solar on it. You can disenchant 1 solar from this Apollo in order to foretell free and add up to 1 solar celestial foretold this way to your hand. From what I understand, foretell, it's kind of like scry. I don't fully understand how foretell works. It's you look at like the top 3. It's like excavate or scry. I don't know all the intricacies of how foretell works. I don't know. I would have to look it up. And then we got an Alun rune. Okay, that's pack 1. Pack 2. Pack 2, pack 2, pack 2. Pack 2 time with Ferrogeist on it. Ooh, the other starter I did not buy yet. God, I forgot how fun opening booster packs can be. I like that they include booster packs in the third deck. Oh no! Who let the larva cell in here? So, larva cell, the incel here, is basically the replacement for the Sparkit after the Sparkit ban. You can nexus up to Thunder Solar. When this larva cell receives 1 or more solar, you can special send to an Amicel from your hand to deck. This is ascended to another card called Phosphocyl, which is a big Thunder Solar boss. But the big deal is this allows you to Nexus Thunder, so it's how Thunder Nexus is now that Sparkit is banned. To get stuff on their Ass Rabbit so they can draw like a billion cards. Verituka, who is a wind card, the toucan. Free 1. When this attacking Verituka enters battle, with an attack position listed as equal or fewer chanting spirits, you can suppress that Elestral and destroy it. If you do, this Verituka deals no damage this battle. So Verituka is interesting because if you have equal or more enchanting spirits on Verituka, you can just use this to out stuff, to suppress and out stuff. Sort of like a whack Specterus, but not as good in Wind. Ooh, Toxiswarm. Toxiswarm's cool. Toxiswarm is so cool. I think they kind of want to play Wind at some point. Toxiswarm, 1 wind, 4 attack, 1 defense. When this Toxiswarm receives 1 or a wind, your opponents must expend a spirit. So every time you can get wind on this Toxiswarm, either by playing it or nexusing to it in Wind Nexus, you can just burn the opponent, which is really good. I think Skyhawk played a Toxiswarm deck when he went to like a local or something, and he did really well with it apparently. Then we have a Frost Celestial Rhynymph. Look at him. 1/5, Frost, 1 Frost to play, and he says you can expend Frost in order to move this Rhinem to your rune row. So he's a crystal beast, essentially. It becomes an artifact room, empowering an Elestral of your choice with the effect. The empowered Elestral is suppressed and gets -2 defense. So you can use this to equip to your opponent's opponent's Elestrals, lower their defense and suppress them. That's kind of neat. And apparently it enables another card that's like a 2-drop. That's like a Rhino Sect, I think it's called. Next we have Temple of the Sun. Note how Sun is spelled correctly, not the Pokemon Temple of the Sun from Sun Moon. One Solar Spirit is the Solar Stadium. The Elestrals get +1 attack and +1 defense for each solar enchanting them. And then there's Bow of Apollo, which is like a decent equip. I just wish it was a little better. 1 solar artifact. The Empowered Elestral can attack opponent's spirit decks directly. When Apollo is enchanted, the Empowered Elestral deals damage to the opponent. You can return 1 spirit from your underworld to your spirit deck. So, if it was a little better, I could see this like a decent Argo target, but Golden Fleece is the better Argo target in Solar. Because Golden Fleece makes things unaffected, I think, if I'm remembering right. But this allows you to establish like a direct attack lock that can like do annoying things, and you can attack directly and heal a bunch of spirits with this. You can establish it, but the problem is establishing an artifact is hard because if they flip a counter rune, they just go immediately. That's the problem with artifacts, is you invest runes in your Elestral, and you flip your Elestral with an artifact rune. It's just the problem with artifacts currently is unless the artifact is like really good, like Trident or Golden Fleece, and has protection some way, it just makes counter runes go insanely plus. That's why I learned the hard way on the app what Hammer of Hephaestus. And then we have First Light, another solar card. It's an Invoke rune. Search your deck out for a solar Elestral and put it on top of your deck. Now, you might not think this is that good, but this is a Foretell enabler for Apollo. And then we get Poisoned Tunic, which is kind of a cool card. Oh, I don't want to spoil the holo. Too much, so. So we got Poison Tunic here, which is another artifact. It costs another artifact costs 2 spirits, a generic artifact. The Empowered Elestral gets -2 attack. When the Empowered Elestral is destroyed in battle, its controller must expend 2 spirits. So the thing with Poison Tunic is it's a really good Argo target. So that way you could like win combat against an opposing Elestral and make them lose 2 spirits. So you go kind of even. So you pay 4 to Argo this, you win combat, and you kind of halfway go even because you spent 4, but they had to expend 2 and lost their Elestral. So it's probably one of the better Argo targets, but not as good as Trident or Golden Fleece. Or the necklace, that name escapes me. Ooh, and our holo. Let's go. We got our second Argo. We can play 2 Argo for both Tridents. That's actually pretty good for our water deck. Not good for fire because Hammer fucking blows, but oh, that's cool. And we got a Lycaris, who is the Wind Spirit. Vote for our Spirit pile. Put Argo on top because that was the holo for this pack. God, the holoing on the holo cards looks so cool in this game. I like how they did the holoing in this game. And we got one last pack to open. I think that's Phosphocell on the cover. I'm not sure. It could be something else, like Wasp IB. I'm not sure. Anyway, we got another Sundial. We didn't need one, but sure. Because we have free Sundial already. We got Glimbat. Glimbat is a 2/1 solar Elestral, 1 solar, so it's a 1-drop. When an opponent activates a card effect to discard the card from your hand, you can discard this Glimbat in order to negate that effect and destroy that card. It's a hand trip, but it's kind of a whack one. Well, it's like it's anti-hand rip, but like there's not like a ton of hand rip in this game. You can disenchant Solar from this Glimbat in order to draw 2 cards. So I guess the idea with this is that you can use it to protect you from hand rip, and then you could play it, and then find a way to get Solar on it and draw a bunch of cards with it. So I guess it's like a card draw kind of card. If you can get extra Solars with Nexus thing onto it, like with Apollo or the Solar Nexus enabler that we saw earlier, Tutora or whatever. We also got Nebuleo, which is the first part of the Celestleo line. 2/1 Solar. This Nebuleo gains +1 attack for each enchanting Solar on the field. You can foretell 4 and add any number of Nebuleo, Leobright, and Celestleo or First Light pull toward this way to your hand. So it's the enabler for the Celestleo strategy. I don't know, the jury's still out of how good Celestleo actually is, though. Trishula was kind of trying to sell it, but like he's not, even he's not like fully convinced in it. From what I watched on Caster's Corner. And then we got a Peegling, which Peegling's a pretty cool card. Pretty good card. It's a 1/2, 1-drop Solar Elestral. When this Peegling receives 1 or more Solar, like when you play it or if it receives from Nexusing, you can target an Elestral and set its base attack to 0 until the end phase. So it's a way to out things, really good against 5s. It's just an Eddie-like card that gets to trigger multiple times if you have Nexus sources. But not quite as good as Eddie. Oh. Uh-oh. Another frickin' Moto card. There's Lumaru. 5/2, 1 Solar, so amazing stats for, like, aggro. When this Lumaru destroys an opponent's Celestial in battle, the opponent must send the top 3 cards of their deck to Underworld. So if you can't out this 5-attack guy, they keep swinging in and milling your deck. Also, important to note, this is one of the misprint cards. You see the little dot of blue here on the card text? There was like a printing error in Daybreak where some codes end up like bluer than others. So that's cool. Like that's like a thing that happened with early Daybreak prints. Is like apparently there was like some cards end up with blue on them. Like some of the card art even ends up like with a bluish tint. And those kind of misprints are kind of like sought after by some people. Well, that's neat. Another freaking Humburst. Another Puckertie. And hey, to go for a Larvacell, here's Anacell. So there's the second part of the Larvacell line if I wanted to build Thunder Nexus. I have the Ask Rabbits for it. Thunder Solar. Yeah, you can special ascend to this with Larvacell's effect. It's a 4/4. You can expend 2 solar in order to special ascend this Anacell to boss spell from your hand or deck. When you cast a rune with solar, you can enchant Thunder from your underworld to this Anacell. So it helps power up your Pospicel for your Pospicel. Oh no, another staple, Dense Fog. 1 lunar, counter rune. Suppress each Elestral that is not lunar enchanted until the end phase. This is apparently like a really popular side deck card. People will side deck this in a couple of Owloons for their deck to be able to side in Dense Fog because it's just good in some matchups. Like it blanks a lot of Nexus effects, it blanks a lot of stuff. It doesn't stop like battle, but it can like stop a lot of like Nexus plays or Ascend plays or effects that are relevant, and kind of just stop your opponent in their tracks. Obviously Specteris deck I5 mains it, but like a lot of decks are citing this card. And another Tyratless to go with the Spirit Pile. And that's it for our opening. I hope you all had fun with this opening. I kind of don't feel like playing any games right now because I still need to sort all these cards and clean up the mess here in my room from this opening. So I kind of don't have time to play any games on the app. So let me change back out from the camera to my normal view. So where? For my goodbye, so let me hold the camera here, changed back to the outro. I'll use that in a second, but I want to do my goodbye, so I need myself on screen for that. I need to turn my VTuber Abby back on. It's a bit annoying switching between my VTuber ping and my thing because I only have one camera. But, hey, let's gotta wait until the tracking comes on. Let me try again. My tracking's not working for some reason. Probably because I switched from the live camera to this. Well, I think I'll just sign off here. I'll pick my tracking later. So, thank y'all for watching and coming out. I'll have to figure my settings so I can make this go a little more smoother in the future if I open more cards on camera in the future. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate all the support. I hope you guys had fun with this little opening I did. I would have played some games on the app, but I didn't feel like starting BlueStack, so... Especially because I got kind of hot in my room wearing these gloves, so, and doing all the opening, going over all the cards. I hope you all had fun. I will see you guys around. Take care. I got a mess to clean up. See you guys later. Bye. Take care.